Hey guys, so let's talk about 5 personal finance books that you should read in 2020 or going ahead. So I started my personal finance journey when I was 20. Whose time pay I had a very basic idea about what is a personal finance, how to manage money. But I read this one of those few books and I realized that personal finance is really important in your life. If you can able to manage your money, then you are like almost 90% free of stress. आपको स्ट्रेस नहीं होता मनी के बारे में, आपको स्ट्रेस वरी नहीं करना पड़ता बहुत सारे प्रॉब्लम्स के बारे में. एंड इफ यू वांट टू लिव वरी फ्री, then make sure you read these 5 books or at least 1 or 2 books out of these 5 books, so you will have better understanding about the money and how to handle money, how to manage money, and how to deal with the money basically. First book in the category, actually there are 2 books in this category, like the first level. So first book is Let's Talk Money and the second book is Mint Your Money. So both are like, these are one of the best books to understand the basics of personal finance. I have already made a detailed video on both the books, so you can go check out. I will put the link in the description or you can see in the iCard. So these are the 2 books that I will recommend you if you have zero idea about the personal finance, especially for the females. Like the male percentage, they have the basic idea about the little bit of finance and everything, but the female population, they have the less idea. So I really request all of you to just to go and read this book, so you will have better idea about finance, better idea about your life, and better idea about how to manage money. So Let's Talk Money by Monica Hallan, which is one of the great book, I will say, to understand all the basics about the personal finance, because these books covers a lot of topics. Like these books talk about your retirement plan, these books talk about then your mutual fund, real estate, gold, how to invest money, where to invest money, how much you should invest. Like there are few formulas like 100 minus your age, then that should be the amount of your investment, then 50 30 20 rule. So there are so many ideas that you will get in this book. So Let's Talk Money is definitely a good guide if you want to just getting into the personal finance, because this book covers hell lot of topics, like everything you need in your life. You will have at least a basic idea or the overview idea about that topic. And after that, if you think that okay, share market is something that I want to go, or the mutual fund, or the real estate is something that you want to go, then you can go deeper into that topic on by reading other books. But this is something that you should definitely read. And the second book in this list, on the list also, that is Mint Your Money. So this also, like I have already made one video on that, this book. So another best personal finance book which is covers the basic topics and a beginning guide, I will say, or the beginning one-on-one about the personal finance, I will say. So these are the 2 books. If you have zero knowledge about the personal finance, you should go check out and read these 2 books, and that will help you with a lot of understanding about the personal finance. Second book that I want to talk about is Psychology of Money. Well, now you have the basic idea about the personal finance and you are ready to take a little bit of step, ready to understand more about the finance, how to manage that, then Psychology of Money is definitely a good guide for you. It's not about the investment, it's not about how to make 10x amount, it's not about the Warren Buffett, it's not about anything. It's basically about understanding money, understanding a detailed structure about the money, or the behavior about the money, like how people behave in different situation when they have a lot of money and when they don't have any kind of money. So if you are any kind of that person, and if you already have the basic idea about the personal finance, and if you want to understand the behavior about the behavior of people around the money, then the Psychology of Money is a definitely good guide for you. I have read this book, I have already made video on this also. So if you want detail, but I won't suggest go for the video and just check for the review or just read the summary, because उसमें से ज़्यादा knowledge नहीं मिलता. If you want a better understanding, better knowledge, then always go and read the book, try to understand the book, try to implement all of those topics in your life, and then only you will able to work on it, or you will able to tackle all of those money related situations. So basically Psychology of Money is all about understanding your behavior towards money. What is your category, where you fit in, what are the things you need to manage, what about saving, what about risking, everything about that you will understand in this book about Psychology of Money. On the third number we have Coffee Can Investing. Well, this book, now we are talking about the one stage ahead. Like first one more about understanding basics, second about the behavior, now third is more about the risk factor. Like Coffee Can Investing, this book is all about how to invest in the share market, how to invest in the market for the long period of the time. As the name suggests, coffee can investing. I mean, you don't have to think. You don't think about when you want to buy a coffee. Like you just go buy that coffee and drink that coffee. The same way you have to think about when it comes to the investing, but for the long period of the time. So if you can able to manage, if you are able to understand the share market, it's not that hard to understand share market, to be honest. Like if you get into it, then you will start understanding about that. But it's more about how you can invest choti amount for the long period of the time, and you can get good returns at the age of your, after 10 or 20 years. Because 10 या 20 साल ऐसे ही कट जाएंगे, बट at the after 10 and 20 years you will feel like, yeah, still I don't have money, still I don't know how to work on it, still I am working for paycheck to paycheck. So if you don't want to happen to your life or your family, then make sure you read this book, Coffee Can Investing. You just have to understand few parameters, and you just have to invest for the long amount of time. It's not about, when it comes to investing, it's not about how much money you have, where you should put. It's about how patient you are, how much you are ready to invest, and how much, how much for the long amount of time you are ready to invest. So that's basically, time is a very crucial factor when it comes to the investing. So if you want to understand the time, and if you want to understand how to play the long term game, then make sure you read Coffee Can Investing. On the 4th number, we have The Richest Man in the Babylon. So this book probably you have heard a lot of time. It's a very short book, like hardly 100 pages, I will say. You can finish that book in less than 1 or 2 hours if you are a speed reader like me. But it's not about the speed reading, it's about understanding, or it's about talking about the money, or it's about how to maximize the potential of growing your money. So that's the book all about. This book is around about 1692, around, as as I remember, about talking about that village, and how why that richest city in the world, and that kind of stuff. So this book is collection of like 4,000 years ago ancient, and still this book is one of the best book. So this book gives you the basic idea about how to put your money, why you should save at least 10% of your every income, why you should think about the gold. I mean, not exactly the gold, like they have given the metaphor about the gold and how to use that. And this book also talks about the necessary and the desire. Like, do not confuse your necessary with your desires. Probably we go with a lot of desires, like I have this desire, I want to do this, I want to do this, but after few times when you achieve that, you feel like, okay, this is not something I wanted, and you already have spent a lot of money on that. So basically that kind of stuff happens. So if you want the better advice, if you want the action advice, then make sure you go and read this book. It's a very short and easy to read book that you will definitely gonna love it. So make sure you go check out. It's a very short book. Definitely give it a try, but it's more about the advisor stuff. If you already know all of these stuffs like share market, mutual fund, retirement fund, everything, then the time comes, it's about the taking the advice. So not necessarily that you should take all the advice, but whatever fits for you, you should definitely go with that. The last book that I want to talk about is Your Money or Your Life. I have already recommended this book into last year video also, but still this book is really important. Like, let's say consider someone put a gun on your shoulder, or someone put a gun on your head and ask you this question, your money or your life. So what will you answer? Let me know into the comment, like whether you will go for the money or whether you will go for the life. This book majorly talks about 9 steps to transfer your relationship with money. This book is like literally gem about that. Like at one point, like when you are in 20-30s, you always think about money, and you always wanted to work on that. You always wanted to do a lot of things. But when it comes to your life, what exactly you are doing, how you are living your life, because time is something, it's passes every second, and you will not have the same amount of time again and again. Like the current second is past, you will not going to get that money. Probably you will make that money again next year, next month, next week, but time is something that you should definitely think about. So if you want to understand your definition of your money or your life, and whether you should give the priority or how much you should give the priority, then Your Money or Your Life is definitely a good guide for you. You should definitely read this book to understand 9 major factors that going to change your relationship with the money. I probably might make a detailed video on that some point in future, but this book is more about that, how to transfer your relationship with money. Bonus book that I want to talk about is The Die with Zero. You probably have seen this book either on the Instagram or on the Twitter. So Die with Zero is a really important book to understand how to spend your money. Now you are making money, now you are investing money, but die your money, it's something really important to understand how to spend your money, where to spend your money. It's not like that you have to save for the retirement and you will not enjoy your life. You should able to understand how much you should balance your life, how you should, where you should put your risk appetite, where you should, risk your amount, and where you should long and where you should enjoy your life basically. So this book is more about that die with zero. So there is a story at the starting of this book about the grasshopper and the ant. So basically ant kya karta hai, he is kind of a save kind of person, and he always try to save that all the money, I mean, or to prepare for the worst. And grasshopper is kind of a YOLO, like you only live once, and he just go on the YOLO और एक टाइम पे सीजन चेंज हो जाता है, एवरीथिंग गोज इनटू बैड थिंग, एंड ग्रास ऊपर के पास कुछ भी नहीं होता और एंड के पास सब कुछ होता है, बिकॉज ही वॉज सेविंग अ लॉट फॉर द बैड टाइम. Now the question is, you don't have to be like a grasshopper ki jahan pe you will gonna spend everything, but at the same time you don't have to be like an ant jahan pe you will saving a lot. There is always a balance between these two, and you have to find that balance. So it's about making that balance happen. So how to make that balance happen, it's about that. So this book is Die with Zero, is all about that balance and how to find out that balance. So these are the 5 books plus one bonus book that you should definitely read about the personal finance, or to understand the finance in a much better way. If you want more detailed review, then make sure you join the newsletter. The link is in the description, and you will enjoy the newsletter also, where I'm going to send a lot of free stuff, free book reviews, and a lot of stuff into the newsletter. So make sure you subscribe to that. So that's more about this video. If you want to understand more about personal finance or how I invest my money, check out this video where I shared everything about how I invest my money. And if you want to understand how I make money, then check out this video where I shared my story about the making money or my journey. So that's all for the today's video. See you in the next one.